Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we are going to be continuing our adventures of looking at what the next Grand Theft Auto Online DLC could possibly look like. And that DLC is supposed to be something along the lines of high-level, high-risk, vehicle-based business ventures. And we've got some more mods today that I'm going to be showing off for you guys, and I think these are really, really cool. In the other video, we looked at kind of like a car trailer mod, and we also looked at some potential chop shop / exporting locations. Well, other than the fact that this one could be a pretty good location too, as you can see the big garage is right here, what I've actually done is installed a pretty cool mod, and that is a kind of rare vehicle exporting mod. So it works very similarly to the way that the Simeon missions work in online, but I would imagine this would be with some rare vehicles, and that's kind of what we're going to be looking at today. And this could give you a good idea of how something like this is going to work. So you can see right here, if we go on the map, it says something along the lines of criminal car steal. So that's what we're actually going to be doing today. And if we go to this door over here, and if we actually walk up to this ramp, it's going to load up a menu for us. You can see right here, it says Clever Eddie's Car Exchange. We're currently looking for the following vehicles, and you can see they're looking for 3 vehicles: the Pagasi Bati 801 bike, the Karen Kuruma, and the Fathom FQ2. And you can see their different prices right there. Now, these are not that expensive, but if you were to replace them with the supercar, they might be more expensive. For the Bati, we would get $390, for the Kuruma, $735, and for the Fathom Q2, it would be $871. And obviously it says any damage present at the delivery will end up being a deduction from your final payment. So let's go see if we can find one of those vehicles right now and bring it back to Eddie's shop, and let's get some money, because that's honestly how I kind of think that DLC is going to be like, just with higher risk, higher levels, and a little bit of a better reward. So I've already seen a couple bikes. There's like a couple over here that I'm trying to stop and I'm trying to look for, but unfortunately, oh, there we go. We actually found one of the bikes. This is it, Pagasi Bati 801. Thank you, sir. I'm going to take that. And now what we can actually do is go deliver this back to Elysian Islands and where Eddie's kind of export shop is. So we're going to go do that right now. That's kind of the way I feel like this is going to work. Again, very similar to the Simeon missions in online, but maybe requiring a much higher level, possibly requiring more help just due to how difficult the missions are going to be. And I'd certainly hope for a much nicer reward. I really think the maximum you get from like the Simeon stuff is $9,000, which in my opinion is not a lot, especially now in Grand Theft Auto Online. The Simeon stuff was way more of a starter thing, but I want this stuff to be some really high rewarding things. So on the way to Eddie's shop, we actually found one of these, the Fathom FQ2 SUV, and I figured it would be worth more, so we ditched the bike, we grabbed this, and it's telling us to go to Eddie's shop over here. And now what we have to do is just exit the vehicle, and as soon as we exit, we got a message. Beautiful. Not a single scratch. You've earned the $871. Thanks, Clever Eddie. That is awesome. And obviously now he is allowing us to go for a higher vehicle. You can see Grotty Carbon right there, which gives us a near $5,000 reward. So let's actually go see if we can find one of those Grotty Carbon, because that is a pretty nice payout. That's getting a little bit better. Obviously, that's not a huge amount, but still, that's a lot better than nothing. All right, guys, so we're in Rockford Hills right now, where we're almost bound to find a very nice car, something along the lines of a Grotty Carbon. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to keep our eyes peeled, see if we can find anything, and see if we can get ourselves one of these rides so we can go end up selling them back to Eddie. All right, guys, so we have found ourselves a bright red Grotty Carbon. It is the exact car that Eddie is looking for, and as you can see, he's now directing us to go to his garage on the minimap. You can see that blip right there. So that's exactly where we're going to go. We're going to be turning this thing in right there. So let's go ahead and jump to his shop right now. Now, if we totally wanted to, we could just drive this into Eddie's shop and it would be totally cool. But I wanted to try out another mod as well that I thought would be really, really awesome. So the other day, we actually talked about what if we use these giant semi-trucks in order to transport cars. Well, some of you guys said that might be a little bit overkill, especially for starting out. So I hear you guys. What if you have to work your way up in the ranks to that giant, hauling car trailer? And what if you started out with something smaller, something more like this? So what we've actually got right here is a single car trailer. And like I said, this is something we might start out small with and then eventually work our way up to that big giant trailer. So thanks to another mod right here, we can actually just back our truck up and we should be able to connect this. If I'm not a terrible driver, we should be able to connect this, no problem, and boom, it is latched on. So let's actually go ahead and completely line this up. Let's get it straight so we can drive our Grotty Carbon in here. Now, I worked a little bit with this mod just before recording this video, and it's not perfect by any means. I really do wish the vehicles would like lock themselves into this trailer spot right here. That would be a whole lot easier, but it still does give you a pretty cool idea of how you could utilize something like this. So what we're gonna actually do is just go ahead and back this on here. I guess we'll just drive it straight on here. Now, there are little spots for the wheels. Like I said, it's not 100% perfect by any means whatsoever. In fact, if you don't line it up perfectly, it will kind of teeter and tumble off to the left or right. So let's go ahead and get this lined up right now. So this trailer is by no means perfect, and it's already, for whatever reason, coming out of the slot. Like, I put the two wheels in there, but it's already coming out. But once again, it should give you a pretty good idea of how you might be able to haul our cars. I think this is going to like immediately fall out. So I'm going to go very, very slow. It is definitely already falling out. But like I said, you could like totally use this as a pretty cool way to more, I guess, realistically deliver vehicles to some of these like export shops or something like that. So let's say we deliver it all the way in, we got it into Eddie's. Then once you get it in and once you're safely away from everyone, you could get back inside of the vehicle. And what you could do from there is actually then drive it out. And that could actually be pretty cool. So you can see then we would just kind of like back it off the rails right here. We would then back out, drive in, drive it into the spot. Eddie says exit this vehicle because he's looking for it. We will, and boom, we collect our reward, which is $4,850. So that is really, really awesome right there. And once again, that gives us a cool idea of how something like this trailer thing could work really cool. So here we go, guys. Now I wanted to try a little bit of a smaller car. I figured the Grotty Carbon was pretty lengthy, especially for that trailer. So let's actually take a look at this right now. We've got the Prius on the back right now. And once again, I don't know how well that's going to stay in. It probably won't for the most part. But at the same rate, if you go slow, you can kind of figure out how this is going to work. It actually might stay on, which is actually kind of cool. So like I said, we're on a straightaway right here. Typically, you can't even utilize this feature in GTA 5 or in Grand Theft Auto Online. And this mod is the only thing that will allow you to do something like this. But it's cool. It will kind of give you a progression of maybe how you can go about importing and or exporting vehicles. You start with something small like this. You work your way up to the trailer, in which we covered the other day. And then I actually figured you could move on to something else as our Prius is completely falling off here. And that's what I want to show you guys right now. This could be like the third and final evolution of your exporting. Goodbye, Prius. Third and final evolution of our exporting process. And that's what I'm going to show you guys right now. So let's do this. All right, guys. And as you guessed it, our third and final evolution today is the cargo plane. And we've installed a mod that basically allows the cargo plane to be utilized in a really, really cool way. Almost as it is intended. In the game, we don't really get to see it, but as a cargo plane where you maybe will be able to drive cars into something like a ship like this and then transport them and have them shipped and sold, something along the lines of like black market car dealing. So that's exactly what we're going to try today. As you can see here, the cargo plane obviously is meant for cargo. You can fit pretty much any vehicle in here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a vehicle up in here, and I'm going to show you guys what that kind of might look like. So let's jump into that right now. All right, so just for the sake of this video, I chose the entity. Not really any rhyme or wrong reason here, but we're just going to drive this up in here. Let's say this is the rare vehicle that you're exporting, and you would drive it into the cargo plane. And then what we would need to do is actually close up the back. So actually, I don't even think we need to leave to do that. I think we can just hit this button right here. Boom. Our back is then closed up, which is perfect. And now what we're going to need to do is enter the plane itself. So now we're in the plane. The vehicle is in the back. And for whatever reason, those two people just spawned there. And they seem very upset about whatever we've done. So we're going to go ahead and take off now. Now that we've got our vehicle inside of this cargo plane, we're going to be exporting it. We're going to be getting it out of here. We got to get it out of Los Santos to wherever it's going to go, Liberty City, somewhere along those lines. So sadly, I could not get the vehicle to work, but this is what I wanted to try and show you guys right now. We're actually in autopilot mode right now, and I know that this is a little crazy and we're wobbling back and forth here, but what it would basically do is give you the freedom to go down and check out the other part of this cargo plane. And that's what we're going to do right now. It is like actually sideways. I am slightly worried about these pilots right here. But as you can see, we are still flying right now. We are flying. Uh-oh. We are flying. Hold up. Go back down. Go back down. And look at this. We can actually stand on the outside here. Like, how cool is this, man? So we can stand out here. If we had vehicles in here, that would be a great way to kind of export them. Like I said, I have had tons of trouble getting the vehicles in here. I will try to spawn one right now. I don't think it's ultimately going to work, but we can give it a shot, and it'll give you a good idea of how you can literally access the cargo plane without having to be flying it. And that's another pretty great and cool feature as well. But regardless, and mechanics aside, as you can see, it's still kind of funky right here. I still think it would be awesome just to fill up the back of this with supercars and see how that would kind of look. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. I'm actually just going to be filling the back of this plane with various supercars. So that's what I'm going to do right now after we take care of this guy. What is this guy doing? We got a rogue freaking airport worker. So I'm going to fill the back of this with supercars just to see how many we can get in there and how practical it would be. So I'll be back in a second when this thing is totally filled, and it should be pretty awesome. So unfortunately, as I was putting the vehicles in here, they were despawning, which is kind of unfortunate because I was starting to get a pretty good pile up in here. But you can see just how many supercars you'd probably be able to fit in something like this, and that would actually be really, really awesome. So that's another really awesome idea that I've kind of thought of here, and this mod does a great job of showing that off and how effective that could ultimately be. I mean, if you think about it, you could get cars on this side and on that side as well, and obviously you could use the autopilot feature that I kind of discussed earlier to be able to control the cargo. Let's say you had to drop them down with parachutes on them and they would just deploy to their various locations. I think that could actually be pretty amazing, and I would love to see Rockstar utilize a really cool feature like this, hopefully going forward. But anyways, that's really all the information I wanted to share with you guys today, just showing off some cool mods and how the high-risk, high-level vehicle-based business ventures could work in Grand Theft Auto Online. As you can see, another one already despawned right there, which made that kind of difficult. But nonetheless, hopefully this video gave you another cool idea of how something like this might work. If you would like to see this kind of implemented in Grand Theft Auto Online, be sure to drop a like rating on the video. That would be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.